Hey everyone, here we
Hey,
are.
where are we at?
Um, you can see that I'm joined by the handsome Ben. You're also lucky. Um, so what I'll do, I will go down and say hi to everyone that's here in the chat. But first of all, hello to you, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Chris. How are you? Are you feeling
I'm good.
better?
I'm getting there, getting there.
Yeah,
It's
been
not been a fun week, but I'm kind of
no.
at least able to stay out of my bed for more than half an hour now. So so
Wipes you out.
going in the right direction.
Yeah, it
But
wipes you out. You have it, I think.
I know, it really does. It really
Yeah.
does. But that's why Ben's here, guys. Ben's like, if I need to put my head down on the table and go for a wee sleep, then I'll just hit mute and Ben will keep the show running. I didn't tell him that was why I had him on. But that's the secret. So yeah, let's have a look and say hi to everyone that we've got here. First in, we've got our very own, very lovely Mr. Taro Stash, Gerald. How are you doing,
Gerald.
Gerald? We've got lovely Jackie Randa. Hi, Jackie. We've got the very lovely Robin,
Hey.
and whose deck was delivered to me
Ooh.
this week. So I've got the edition of the Open Face Tarot, and I've been playing about with it. Um, I'm trying to I'm trying to devise a spread that I don't know if I'm just at it or not yet. I don't know if it's going to turn out to be shite or it's going to turn out to be good or what, but I'm trying to put together a wee spread and then I'm going to do a walkthrough of it.
Oh,
But
nice.
anyway, sorry. Hi, Robin. The chat jumped, but I'm highlighting names, so it's fine. I can easily find my place. Let's see. We've got Debbie from Aquarius Owl. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Debbie.
We've got right. What is the wee box? It's shown on my screen as a box, but what is that? Oh,
Is it?
it's an emoji. It's the moustache
Oh,
emoji. It's funny
I
how
thought it was.
some of them show,
Yeah.
because this one I'm seeing as a purple heart, as it's meant to be, but the wee moustache man I'm just seeing as a box. And that makes sense now because I'm sure it might have been on a Zoom. Gerald's name was just a box, and I was like, why is his name a box? But obviously, it was meant to be the moustache emoji.
Yeah.
It's all making
And
so
with
much sense now.
you just don't even need to say a name with Gerald. You just that's what it is, isn't it? It's just empty.
It's him, it's that Ian. Um, oh, look at our lovely Tangy, Tange-tastic.
Oh, hey
Hey,
Tangy.
Tange.
Boop.
We've got Nancy from Paperman Tarot. Hi, Nancy.
Hey Nancy.
We've got Richard from the House of
Ooh.
Divination. Good
Hello,
evening,
Richard.
Richard. And our very lovely Simon from the Hermit's Cave. Hi,
Oh, hey,
Simon.
hey, Simon.
Uh, Diane from Wood Thrush Cottage. Hi, Diane. How are you? It's lovely to see you.
Bless her.
I miss Diane's wee face. We used to see Diane when we used to do the Marseille study group, but we've not done that in quite a while now, so I've not seen
She's
Diane in a
lovely.
long time. Yeah.
She's a lovely lady.
Um, see, we've got Robin wants to post a link and be a mod.
Ooh.
Oh, can we trust you,
Ooh.
Robin? Can we trust you? I think we
There's a
can.
strict application process, Robin, with this. I hope you know that. And an interview at the end of it, so.
Right, Robin, you're on a probationary period. Any bullshit, and that spanner will be revoked.
The power.
Right, Robin, that should be you. Oh, Nancy says our voices are echoey. I'm not
Oh,
hearing any echoiness, which might mean that it's on my side. Are you hearing
I,
echoiness, Ben?
no.
No? Is anyone else in the chat hearing any echoiness? Echoiness? Is that even a word? It is now. Is anyone hearing any echoiness?
It's probably me if it is Chris.
We've got Kimberly from As Found Kimberly. Hi there.
Hey, Kimberly.
And it did just jump, but before it jumped, I saw the very lovely. Oh, we've got quite a bit to go. I saw the very lovely Antoinette. So we've got Tony. Hi, Tony.
Tony.
And Ishi.
Hey, Ishi.
And Mark. Hi, Mark. How you doing?
Hey, Mark.
Scott from Scorpio Moon Tarot. Hi,
Oh.
Scott.
Oh.
Chris and Ben. Hey, Robbie. How you doing? Robbie's my real life friend, as I keep calling him.
Oh, hey,
Let's see. We've got Sadhana. Hi, Sadhana. How you doing?
Hey, Sadhana.
And let's see. This is where I need like the Moss Moss Eisley Cantina music. You know, as the kind of just whilst I'm looking.
The Star Wars canteen.
Yeah. I think I've maybe said this before. Oh, hi Laurie, by the way. Hi, Laurie's here as well.
Hey, Laurie.
I think I've said this before, but you know how during our wedding, you know that bit where you sign the register? We are seriously thinking about having the Moss Eisley.
Why not? You're
I
going to
know.
be telling me, don't dress up as Chewbacca, will you, for your wedding? I love a Star Wars
Simon
wedding.
says no echo. Thanks, Simon. Nancy says it resolved itself, so we're all good. We're no echoiness.
Good.
Oh, balls. Robin has posted his link. I was too busy being a dick. I didn't even take in what Robin said the link was for. I'll need to look at it later.
I think it's his. Oh, it's Llewellyn. I don't know what that is. No.
Yeah, Llewellyn is like a. Oh my god, what's the word? Like they produce tarot decks, like
Publisher.
US Games and yeah, publisher. That's the one.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Coffee. Like no, not even any alcohol. I've got coffee. I seem to be going through this. I can't even say going through a phase because it's happening more and more now. Like where I just forget random words. Like I'm trying to have a conversation. Do that happen to you as well?
Sometimes I listen back to myself and I miss words out, and I'm like, wow, that's maybe it's an age thing. It's when you hit your 30s.
Maybe you could be right. Let's see. Ben should be singing, says Gerald. What could that be about?
I've got no idea.
Was this a conversation yesterday on your live?
I dread to think. Was I that drunk, Gerald, on that live? No, surely not.
Oh, it's a phenomenon. Chris has got Tangy brain, says Tangy. Light Energy 555 Silent Tarot. Hi there, how you doing?
Hi.
I think I know I asked your first name before, but I've forgotten it. So apologies. But if you can remind me what your first name is, because I don't think I've seen you in a wee while. Unless, of course, you want us just to refer to you as Silent Tarot, in which case, more than happy to. We've got Jason Underwood, says, hi, Chris and Ben, first time here. Well, welcome. Thank you very much for being here. And a big warm welcome to you. And I'm sure everyone in the chat will give you a big warm welcome as well. But it's always lovely seeing your faces. Nell.
Nell.
I'm all right. I'm Nell. Hi, Nell. How you doing? Yeah, well, that's me at the bottom now. Very secretive. So yeah, Ben, it's so lovely to have you on. So you're here to kind of keep me company, make sure that I stay in line and don't fall asleep. And you're going to do some readings with me later as well, is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. First time, Chris. So you're my first partner.
It's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah. I do like to. I'm a big fan of like my favourite thing about this whole thing that we're all into is actually kind of a throwing the cards on the table and coming up with kind of
Mhm.
a ideas about what they mean about, is reading the cards.
Yeah,
That's what really kind of like excites me, and it kind of really
yeah.
gets me going. So I always love to have these lives. Like even like when I'm having a live where it's chit chat,
Mm,
I still like to kind of spend some time throwing cards down at
yeah.
the end. So
I think that's what it's
um
about, like that connection kind of thing. It's like, sometimes when you do pre-recorded videos, you don't get that connection, do you, with the community? Whereas when it's
mm,
live, you get that better rapport, don't you? Because you're talking to people as you go.
yeah,
Which,
yeah, you can have that kind of a chit chat element, and you can wind people up, and people can wind you up, and have a good laugh. But it's good.
yeah.
Um, So Ben, like that, I think no, this isn't the first time that I've had you on my channel. I beg your pardon. I had you on a few months back for the roundtable reading, didn't I? But
You did.
for those of the people that are here that maybe haven't met you before, do you want to just tell us a wee bit about yourself and tell us a bit about your channel and what you're doing on it and stuff? And whilst Ben
Yeah.
is doing that, if one of my lovely mods would mind sticking a wee link to Ben's channel in the chat and just maybe spamming my chat with Ben's channel link for 5 minutes or so, if everyone could go and sub to Ben, because I've noticed that Ben is like 190 something subscribers. So if we could push Ben to like over 200 today, then that would be pretty exciting. So
Oh, that's
anyway,
fine.
yeah, go for it,
Wow.
Ben. Tell us all about you.
Wow. Okay, you ready for this? So I've been on YouTube now since July. So I think it's coming up. I'm on my 4th month. And originally, I wanted to join. It was mainly just to connect with people who were also into tarot. And I think, Chris, it was you actually, wasn't it, that I first communicated with before I started my channel? And Chris did a reading for me, and it gave me the push to start my channel, which I did. And it's just been an amazing experience since. So on my channel, I do a lot of I do flip throughs of decks on a Friday. I've just started doing some lives with Gerald and Richie, and we've got an idea for another live coming up in a couple of months who we'll have a special guest on with. We found our 4th. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, I've just started doing lives. And yeah, my channel's really just about tarot and really just wanting to connect with people. And I love going on lives with people because you get to meet so many different people through YouTube. One of the things I would say to anybody who wants to start a channel is just go right in and start it, because it's the best thing that I ever did. And it kind of, you get to meet loads of different people, don't you, Chris? And it's kind of like, it's such a lovely community that we're part of as well. And it's just really nice to be here. So that's a little bit about my channel. Also, I do like to do a bit of dad dancing now and again, so apologies
Really,
about
I
that.
hadn't noticed at all.
It's like practically every video. It's horrible. It's terrible. But it's all about the fun, isn't it?
It
And
is,
yeah.
and it's amazing fun. So it is.
Yeah.
It's amazing fun. So if anyone
Oh,
doesn't know what Ben's talking about, then just pick any random video and hit play on it, and just brace yourself for an absolute treat. Um, yeah, Arbu says it best. We love Ben's dancing. We really do. It's just it comes at the most random of points. Sometimes it's
it
just
does. Takes over,
like
Chris. That's
where did that come from?
uh,
But it is really
that
good.
build up of energy. you
That's it.
know.
That's it. Some of us release it through doing tarot readings online, but Ben releases it through some dad dance moves.
That's right.
Uh, um,
Oh dear.
doo. So, Nell, I can see that you've asked a question, and I think you said before that, can I ask a question? So, me and Ben will be doing some card readings later on in the live. We'll be doing that at probably around about 10. If you come back in about 45 minutes, so 10 p.m. UK time, BST. Then that's generally when I start to kind of pull in some questions, and we start to pull cards on questions. So I completely understand if if you're not really interested in listening to us talking for for an hour. So if you want to go away and come back in an hour, then you feel free to do so. All right. I can also see that you've asked if I'm single, and no, I'm not. I am, as Simon says. I think it was Simon that said I'm due to be married in January. So oh gosh, I don't even want to think about how many weeks it is. I think it's like 13 weeks or something, or 12 weeks to go.
Wow, that's come round quick, hasn't it, Chris?
I know. Tell me about it.
Goodness me.
So let's see. We love Ben's dancing. Now I can see that some people have asked some questions here. So let's oh, look at this. I mean, we've got some real compliments for your dancing. First of all, let's not
Oh.
let that slip by unnoticed. Where would we be without Dad dancing?
This
I
is it.
mean, these
Is
are the
it?
questions. Love your dancing, Ben.
Oh, thank you, Tanja.
Mark says, Ben, did you end up making that career decision that we covered last time you were here
Oh, that's a good question, actually, Mark.
from your
So
roundtable meeting?
yeah, it was because it was about whether that job had come up, and I have been thinking a lot about it because it's due, I think, to come up soon. It hasn't actually come up yet, but I've been told it's coming up soon. So yeah, I think what I've decided is that I'm just so comfortable at the moment doing the job I'm doing because I get to work from home and I've got that flexibility. And I think that's just that little bit more important to me than money at the moment. Whereas if I went for this other job, I think it would mean that I'd have to travel around a lot. And I kind of like the fact that I can finish work at 4 if I want that flexibility. So it helped me make that decision with that, if
Yeah,
that helps answer the question. But yeah, it helped that roundtable reading because it made me realise certain things about my life that I am more comfortable with, and not, you don't need to earn all the money in the world to be happy.
absolutely not. I mean, I
Yeah.
think, if you were, I mean, it's not an exact science, but I think if you were going to kind of a chart money against happiness, you'd probably find that they go opposite to each other. They're inverse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the more money you make, the more hours you have to work, and you know,
I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, sorry.
no, I was just going to say, I mean, like pre-COVID, I used to go to work and I wouldn't get back till 6:30, 7 sometimes,
Uh-huh.
like through traveling. Whereas now, working from home, I can finish at 4, I'm home already, so then I can just start getting on with the rest of my day. And especially with YouTube, gives you more time to make videos and stuff, and so in some ways it's been good in that sense that it's given part of my life back in that way instead of just sitting in a car traveling and singing to myself, which is absolutely awful because I do really go for it in the car.
Good for
And it
you.
sounds
Quite right.
proper little Tina Turner, but yeah. Don't do that anymore.
See, I think that it's good to do that kind of a thing. I think it's good to just when you're in the car by yourself, just absolutely belt out
Yeah,
your favorite
but
song that you can't sing for peanuts, but still just give it your
but you
all.
feel good, don't you? I mean, I sing and I
Yeah,
know it's awful, but I really feel like I'm really doing a good job of it. And then like, you listen to yourself back and you're like, not bad. That's really bad.
yeah, yeah. Um, and the other thing as well is I've heard it's actually therapeutic to see in the morning for 5 minutes in the morning, just turn
Is it? Oh,
on a song and have a right good dance.
yeah,
Just dance as if nobody's watching, 'cause nobody is
yeah.
watching, and just dance
Well,
for 5 minutes in the morning.
yeah. Oh, I like that. I mean, sometimes I sing in the shower, um, but
Yeah, but then the shower, you can't really get a right good slut drop done in the shower, can you? Unless you've got a really big shower.
no, that's true, Chris. I mean, I'd probably fall off the side of it or something.
Uh,
No, you can't do a slut drop in the shower. You'd hurt yourself. You'd be
yeah,
bruised.
definitely. Yeah,
Too much
hurt
right.
something. Tony asks, when you started, did you ever think that you would be dancing on YouTube?
No, Tony, I didn't actually. I think actually it was the second video in, and I think I was showing the groovy weight, and I just all of a sudden felt like doing a groove, and I was going to edit that bit out, and then I thought, oh, I wonder if I can get a piece of music to this, and that's what started it then. And then I did a dance because I do dance a lot in my room, like when I've got my music on. And I think I did the one video. Oh, it was so embarrassing because the neighbour. I'd just finished dancing, and I looked out the window, and the neighbour in the house over the road was looking at was looking at me, and she was like, and I was like, oh God, I can't believe she's just seen me do that. Um, so yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, but
Oh,
lucky.
well,
She was a
if
lucky thing, I thought.
the nosy Bism's going to watch you through the window, then she should be lucky that she's been treated to a
Wow.
show
It's
and
the
that you were
trouble.
fully clothed.
Well, yeah, I was fully clothed, so that was okay. It's the trouble living in a village, Chris, because everybody likes to know your business in a village. So, you know,
Right, I've never lived in a village.
oh, you
Is
don't
it
want
is
to
it
live there.
really like that bad? Like, is it
Yeah,
really what
everyone's
you would
like,
think?
wants to know what you're up to, or we've got
Yeah.
I think we've got a policeman over the road who's like, he's like neighbourhood watch all the time, and it's like,
Right.
so
You know
yeah,
what I don't get, right? See these people, like these kind of a curtain twitchers, these people that like kind of a watch through the window and
yeah,
spy on people and basically gather information in covert ways. Like, how do they then? Because surely the reason that you want to get information is so as you can say to Betty when next time you see her, "Fucking wait till you hear this, Betty. Wait till you hear this." See if you've seen you know that because you've been watching through their window. Like she can't
yeah,
exactly say, "Oh, Betty, I was watching Ben through his window and this is what I
yeah.
saw. He was that." Like, how does that work? Like,
Well,
do you know what I
I
mean?
never, yeah. I mean, I never forget. It snowed really bad, and we were out trying to. Me and my brother and my dad were all out trying to shove the snow, and across the road, they were all watching out the window. So my dad turned around. Do you want to give us a bloody hand? And like they just like they like ran off. But then he went. But it's like, because we're not like that at all. It's like we mind our own business, but everyone's like looking. It's the older ones, I think. It's because the village is full of people who probably have retired and they don't know what to do. So it's like a show to them, isn't it? So,
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
it's all good.
Gerald says it's all about the fan.
Oh, Gerald, it is. I do this just for Gerald. It's for you, Gerald.
It's a really nice fan that you've got. Whereabouts did you
I,
get that?
I got it off Amazon actually because I felt insanely jealous that them two had fans when they first came on my live. So I said, look, I've got to get a fan. I think because I'm just not going to fit in with the live. So
Yeah,
Gerald had a look for me and he said, try Amazon. So I did and I found that one.
right.
So,
Did
yeah.
you see the live where I'm sure it was the same one? Am I remembering the facts correctly, or am I got this wrong? But I'm sure Gerald sent Richard the fan that he's got, and I'm sure that
Yeah,
he sent it along with a bunch of other stuff. And there was like a
I think he did.
a Last Supper lunchbox, and he was like, "My Last Supper lunchbox." It was like the best thing that he'd ever seen, and I'm going, "It's a lunchbox, and it's got the Last Supper on it." Like it's lovely, but is he going to use it? Like, I, I was just
Do
like, but it was
the
like
lunchbox.
you'd think that 10 Christmases had come at once for the guy. It was nice to see, but at the same time, it was rather perplexing.
Maybe it was a rare lunchbox. That's all I can say.
Maybe.
You know, an out of print lunchbox, maybe.
If she says snap, snap, snap goes the fan. Justin's here. Hi, Justin. If I've not already said hi to you.
Hi, Jo.
I thought Ben fell asleep, but they froze. Oh gosh, hope that was just for him.
Yeah.
I think it seems to be okay because I can see people still chatting and they're not saying red alert. You've gone off or something. Um, let's see. Thirst is real. I've freelanced working from home for years and it's wonderful. Good luck,
Mm.
Ben. Says
Oh,
Nancy.
thank you.
Jason says, as long as you can keep your head above water and afford a few luxuries, all is good. Yeah, I kind of think the same. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of how I'm looking at things just now.
yeah.
Um, I think Ben and Chris should have a live dance off. Well, those are words coming from a man who's clearly never seen me try to dance. Richard Boo is all I'm going to say about that. There's probably about a 75% chance that I would pull something or break something, sprain something, strain something. I would come away
But
with some sort of personal injury.
weren't you in the slut drop though, Chris? At one
What?
point. Weren't you practicing the slut drop at one point? I'm
No,
sure
I
you
think
said.
I was just talking shite. I think I was just telling you to do
Oh, oh, thanks.
it.
I mean, Richard would love that. He'd love a dance off.
Richard
He's a right,
would.
he's a right little disco queen. Richard is.
Oh, Richard Boo or Richard from
Yeah.
On Mantaro?
No, Richard Boo. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He
Well,
loves his.
I don't think I can compete with our Ben. Ben's got far too much dancing experience for me, but I'm sure there is a worthy contender out there somewhere. Everyone's agreeing it's not gonna happen. Tangi says, to quote Jeff Goldblum, it's everyone's right to sing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Endorphins via singing, says Ishe. Simon says, I thought I rocked doing my Tainted Love number on karaoke until someone filmed it. Yeah. Do you know what else is really mortifying? See when you hear your own voice on the phone. Because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but my work records all calls, and see
Oh,
when you hear your voice back, it's like, oh my God. Like, I didn't realise I sounded that camp. I didn't realise that
you
my
don't sound
voice
camp.
sounded like that at all.
People think I sound
Um,
like Clary on tour.
like Mariah Carey?
No, Julian Clary.
Oh, right, okay.
On tour.
Like,
That, they sound like Julian Clary. Thank you.
oh, right, okay. I think it's just the accent, though, eh?
Yeah, that's what I put it down to, but I'm not sure. You sound
Um,
like Roy to me.
like Rob Roy.
Mm,
Again, is that just the accent?
it's the accent, yeah.
Tony says it's like choir practice tryouts. Sorry, your voice doesn't fit. When you work from home, you can sing your heart out as you
It's
work.
true.
I do, says Nancy. Yeah, that's true. Robbie's saying yes, you can, Chris. But yes, I can what? What can I do, Robbie? Because I'm not sure what you mean. If it's singing, then no, I can't. But I said I couldn't dance, didn't I? You've never seen me try to dance. I don't know what you're talking about. Robbie's trying to get me to go out clubbing, and it's not happening. Um, let's see. Tanji says, Simon, I love your singing.
Oh, I'd love to hear Simon sing.
Let's see. Ben and Chris, your viewers are wanting a live dance off. Richard, troublemakers.
The little tease, that Richard.
Justin says, anytime I have to wake or get rid of nerves up, I sing for 10 minutes. It wakes me up and makes me less nervous. Oh, just by singing. Aye, but you're a nice singer though, Justin. You've got a nice singing voice. I've heard you singing, so I can say that. Justin plays piano, and he sings along when he's kind of playing. Let's see. Yeah, I play Boogie Woogie on the piano and sing. Chris, now you're making me think of the gossiping ladies in the movie Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean though. Like, do you play any instruments or anything, Ben?
I played piano years ago when I was
Did
a
you?
kid. I do it, and then I think about 3 years ago, I did take it up again. But I got that little app. I think it was Simply Piano. Is it Simply Piano or something? And I started
Yeah.
playing again. That really helped me. But then I just haven't. I just stopped. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I think I wanted to learn too fast though. I really wanted to be able to play like Elton John, and it wasn't going to happen in like the space of 10 days. But yeah, I love it. I do like playing the piano. It's good. And you're learning the piano, Chris, aren't you?
Yeah.
Have you
Um,
done You do your yellow brick road, and because I know you were learning to do that, weren't you?
I'm still like we've not moved on from that yet. So still really learning that, but I've kind of come to the end of it. So just
Mm.
trying to kind of speed it up and perfect it and stuff. But I've not had a lesson in a few weeks because of COVID.
Yeah.
So we'll see how I've got on because I've not been practicing as much as I really should have done. But yeah, we shall see.
Close.
See. I used to have those huge wall fans. Imagine me trying to thwart with that. Do you know who's got a huge fan on their wall? I know this probably isn't anything near what Tangi's talking about, but Jonathan Daly's got a big fan that sits behind him on the wall whenever I see him, usually
Oh,
on Zoom. Um, do you know what it puts me in mind of? I don't know if Jonathan's here. I'm pretty much talking about the guy behind his back, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind. It reminds me of Solitaire from James Bond. You know how
yeah,
in her kind of a palace thing,
yeah,
where she's got that big like kind of a thing that she sits in, where it like kind
yeah,
of surrounds her, and she's got the big thing coming out the head, the big headdress.
yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
puts me in mind of, just the way that it sits perfectly right above his head.
Very
So we
elegant.
just need to get my big bejeweled gown, and then he'll be Solitaire.
I think.
Yes, that the Last Supper lunchbox. Tangi did a remix of that. Do you want me to post it? Absolutely. You don't even need to ask. Definitely. Let's see it. Yeah, exactly. She's like, Gerald, do you need to ask? Yes. Um, Chris, could you do an exotic snake dance with both snakes at the same time, or would they fight each other? Um, so many things wrong with that sentence, Robin. No, I'm joking. I'm not doing any kind of dance. I'm certainly not doing any kind of exotic dance, and I'm certainly not doing any kind of exotic dance holding snakes. Um, I don't. We tend to keep the snakes away from each other. Just they don't. They're not sociable. So they don't mix. They probably wouldn't like immediately try and fight and kill each other, but you would never kind of house them together. You would never keep them in the same vivarium. But if I had one in one hand and one in the other, I'm sure it would be fine. We just don't make a habit of doing it. Um, Robbie, no, he does sound camp Ben. It's fine. It's
I
fine.
can't. I don't see it, but I'm the
Yeah.
campest. Yeah, I feel like I sound really camp.
Well, I'll need to remember when I do the shopping tomorrow that I need to get really spicy jalapenos and spike your pizza on Saturday, Robbie.
Well, you're in for it now, Robbie.
Yep. Yeah, YouTube gets talent, not YouTube's got talent. YouTube gets talent. Sing off instead. Uh, so many things have been said with that one line. We didn't have talent before, but we're getting it. Oh dear.
Oh, Richard.
Um. Oh, Simon said, "Embrace the camp."
Absolutely.
My Southern Electric customer services man sounded like you today, Chris. He said he's called James. Cool. He must have sounded very good looking indeed, didn't he? Tangi says Yellow Brick Road is my all-time favourite Elton John song. Oh, that's nice.
It's a classic.
Come to the end of it. Before time? Before time? Performance time? I'm not
Performance
really
time.
sure. I'm not really sure what you mean, Simon. Um, Just,
Oh, okay.
Orshi, see if you're still here. I think you are, because yours is the bottom comment. I haven't said yet, but when we do readings, I'm planning on using this bad boy, which is
Oh,
Orshi's deck, Orshi's Oracle deck, the Zombie Oracle. Um, So yeah, I actually have filmed a walkthrough, and I think it'll be up Saturday morning. But yeah, I'm excited to use this because it's quite a good wee deck for reading with. So it
It's a
is.
good.
Jonathan says, Jesus Christ, Robin. That regarding the exotic dance comment. Tange, my favourite Tange, my favourite song is My Father's Gun. It's
Oh, I
not
don't know
one
that.
that yeah, maybe it's a less well known one. Chris, you said you'd come to the end of it. The song of it. Oh, right, because I said I was coming to the end of it. Yeah, I maybe at some point. I'll definitely glide you, Simon. I just don't think I'll be doing it live on YouTube. But I will happily send you a glide playing it. But just know that I still make about 1,000 mistakes and I've still got it at like 50% speed. So it's up to you. Uh, so yeah, I think that's us down at the bottom of the chat actually.
Oh.
Yay. Right, just keep me in mind then, Simon, right? Just remind me that I need to do that because I'll forget. I'll forget. But yeah, so have you got any kind of plans coming up, like on your channel or just life in general, Ben?
Yeah, I've got a live. Well, I've got a live coming up on Saturday. I'm doing another chit chat with the lovely Scott from Scorpio Moon Tarot. So it's me and Scott kind of started at the same time, probably a week or so in between each other. So we're gonna have a chat about things and about our journeys so far and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we have the final Caught in the Act with Richie and Gerald, which is to do with the Kings. So that's going
Yeah,
to be good.
yeah. So do,
Got to
do we need
top
to
the
play a
Queens.
drinking game where every time you get flustered or blush, we need to take a drink? Or
That's why I drink at those. I mean, Gerald, I challenged Gerald, and within what was it, 5 minutes, Gerald, I was blushing away. And but next time they're on about Megan's, Chris. So I don't know how that's going to go down for the Kings.
Megan's
But
for the Kings?
Megan's, well, yeah, I don't know why, but Gerald and Richie have got amazing ones apparently. So,
Right. Oh, that'll be
so
cool then.
that'll be fun. And then we're possibly going to be doing a new series of something else. And we've got a fourth person coming on, so that'll be good. But that won't be for until after that's finished. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, there's stuff planned, so it's all good. Yeah, and the usual pre-recorded stuff. So
Yeah.
just need to
So
find
you
some
do
new
your
songs.
Friday flip throughs, don't you?
Yeah, every Friday I do a flip through,
Yeah.
just to of any kind of decks that I probably haven't seen and stuff. So, and sometimes I do dad dancing to it, but I'm running out of songs. And Richard Boo said, "Why don't you do ABBA?" But I can't do ABBA because it's copyrighted.
All right.
I'd love to do ABBA, but I can't do that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
have a little delve through the YouTube library, I think. But yeah,
Right.
so
So
that
I mean, this is just me asking a question now. This isn't even entertaining to you lot, but like, how do you tell whether you can play a song or not? Like, do you just look up and see if it's copyrighted or what?
so on YouTube, if you go into the studio bit,
Mm.
there's a bit that says, I think it's YouTube Music Library, and any of those songs you can put on your YouTube video, and it's
Okay.
not copyrighted or anything like that. So I tend to go into there and find all the songs that I need. But you can go on to YouTube itself and search for non-copyrighted music.
Right.
But when you upload your video, it tells you anyway if there's something that's
Yeah.
dodgy or not before you can kind of publish it. So it's good in that way. But yeah,
Right. Okay.
I knew when I started my channel I wanted to have some sort of music just while I'm doing like flip throughs, especially. because I've done flip throughs before, and like one of my family members will call me, and I'm like, "Will you shut up? I'm doing a flip through." Like when you when you get interrupted. So luckily, you can take the sound out, and you don't hear that bit. But yeah, so it helps with that. But yeah, there's. I had to research. I did so much research before I started the channel now.
Right.
But it's in the end, I think it's more. I think when you first start, you want everything to be perfect, and it never goes perfect. It's just good to start and jump straight in. And I mean, my camera was a right nightmare when I first started. It wouldn't focus or anything.
Okay. I don't seem to remember that. I do remember thinking like your channel's always been pretty slick. And
Oh,
you
thank you.
saying that you did a lot of research before you started, it really does show. So it does.
Oh,
It really does.
yeah.
Because it's kind of like you hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean?
I'd done a lot of film editing years ago, because I used to make
Right.
like family videos years ago. So I think it was from that really, and it's more or less the same. The software is more or less the same. So I think I got it from that really. But yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? You kind of just I think as well, it's really hard to be yourself at first because you don't know whether you're going to be accepted or you don't know how you're going to come across. But I think the more videos you do, the more you come out of yourself, and
Yeah,
which
yeah.
and the good thing about this community is that everybody's so nice and you know accepting, really, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody always has been. Um,
Yeah.
I suppose it's kind of like everything else where you do get,
Mm,
the odd thing that happens
you
here
do
and
get
there, but it's like
yeah,
it's few and far between,
like
so it's always really nice.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, because I was going to say, like, see about your Friday flip throughs, like you it's funny because you've managed to find a lot of kind of unusual decks. Like that was all one of the things that always kind of not worried me, but like before I started my channel, I was always like, well, there's like lots of channels that do flip throughs and
Mm,
walkthroughs and whatnot, and I was always like I'm not sure if I want to do that. Like just kind of I do what somebody else is doing. I want to bring something unique to the table.
yeah,
Um, And like I was worried about like kind of outright finding decks to like if I was going to do a walkthrough, like finding a deck, and I don't want to do a deck that's been walked through like a gajillion times.
yeah,
But what I've found with your kind of a walkthroughs or your Friday flip throughs or whatever is that it's unusual decks. It's like decks where it's like Tarot at the End of the Rainbow. I had never seen that before you did that, and now
no,
everybody seems to have it. Everybody seems to be getting it. And there's another one. There's an Oracle deck that you did as well. Can't quite
the
remember
Marsh.
what one it is.
Is it the Martian one or the Earth
The
Oracle?
Earth one,
Yeah,
the one that's got
Earth.
Earth in it. Yeah, that. Like I had,
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that, and then you did a walkthrough, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing it pop up everywhere. It's like you're an influencer, Ben.
Oh, I don't feel it, but I think part of it, I mean, I always think you bring your own thing to it anyway, and I always think whoever does a walkthrough, it's never the same as the person that you've seen, and I think you'd be good, Chris, doing walkthroughs because you've got a good, you go deep into the cards, and that's what a lot of people want to hear. Do you know what I mean? So don't discount it for yourself, even if it's a deck that has been around for a while, because I think everybody's interested in other people's opinions anyway of that deck, aren't they?
Yeah,
But
I'm
I think
kind of
lucky.
a. Sorry, keep going.
No, I was just saying, I think I've just been lucky really because I think the decks that I chose had only just come out. So when I started, there seemed to be a rush of decks come out around July, August time, which I'd pre-ordered, and I just went and did those. So I think I've just been lucky.
Yeah.
But sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, I've kind of come round to walkthroughs. I do them now. Like
Yeah.
I do walkthroughs quite a lot now. Um, and
Well, I watch your
I
walkthroughs, Chris. Good. I really enjoy watching them.
right, okay, thanks. What I try and do is rather than just a 5 minute flip through, if I'm doing a deck, then I'll generally be talking about the cards as I see them. And the reason that I do that is not just because I like talk. I do talk too much, but it's not just because of that. It's because see those types of walkthroughs, you know how like Simon
Mm.
does, and like Kelly in the Truth and Story does. Like, see if there's a deck that I'm not really just not getting. You know how sometimes you get a deck and there's maybe about 10 cards in it, and you're like, why are they drawing that? Like, where does that
Yeah,
image come from? I just don't
yeah,
understand it whatsoever. There's
yeah, yeah,
like particular like so Santa Muerte was like that for me. And then
yeah,
Kelly at the Truth and Story had done a walkthrough of that, and it really, really helped me. Like, just hearing
yeah.
her thoughts on the cards and hearing her chatting about, why
Mm.
she thinks that's the image on the card and stuff. I
Yeah,
find that so helpful.
it is.
So
Because you go into, I mean, some people just do the flip throughs, but other people go more into detail and you notice things that you never saw the first time you went through a flip through. So it's really good to see what other people see in cards that you kind of don't. But have you ever
yeah,
done an interview of a deck, Chris? And I did one the other day and it doesn't, I just felt like the deck didn't like me at all. It felt like it was just, and it was like really, it was just really like it was almost shouting at me, and I was like, "All right, God," It was like, and I can't explain it. It was just the cards that were coming out. It was like I don't know. I think it had the Tower in it. It had the Ten of Swords. I was like, bloody hell, and I got a vibe from it.
right, okay, interesting.
So,
But I would say
yeah,
stick with it, because see if you
I
think
know.
about like those people in your life, like the
Yeah,
people that initially come off as being really scary.
yeah,
I
and that's
find that
good.
quite more often than not, when I kind of like give it a bit of time and get to know them and let them get to know me and just become comfortable with that kind of a
Mm,
personality,
yeah.
I kind of like they end up being like really kind of a I get really close to people like that, I think.
Mm,
But I've got to let myself kind of I've got to let it um I don't
yeah,
know, just let the relationship build up a wee bit, I think.
yeah.
And so I think that maybe it might be the same with some tarot decks.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And it was like it was the kind of person I thought it would have been was just like I'm going to tell it as it is. If you don't like it, it's tough. Use me if you want, whatever. It was like that.
Mm,
That's like the kind of person that I felt it was. But you're right. Sometimes the people who come across in life a bit brash are the actual ones that are the best because you know where you are with them.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So Orshi's
I'll
going to
buy.
watch back. Watch this tomorrow during work. We'll message you, Chris. About live too. Bye, guys. See you later, Orshi. Uh, Justin thinks me and him are doing a duet. Don't
Which
think
one's
that'll
Dolly?
be happening. Um, Robin says Ben promised to do a live with me when
Did.
his deck shows up before Halloween.
And Robin, I'm glad you said because it's actually showed up today. So I need to message you about that.
Nice.
Mm.
Is that a secret what deck it is, or
No, I don't think it is Robin, is it? Do you want me to mention it, Robin? Or do you want it a secret? Yeah, let us
I'll
know.
let you know
Yeah.
what he says. Um, Tony says long johns and blousons failing makings. What's blousons?
I'm not sure.
Right, it's not just me. Not just me then.
No. I think Tony mentioned this yesterday and I wasn't sure, and I can't remember. I think Richie knew what it was, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
She'll come
Uh,
back.
r- uh, Robin says you can mention it, Ben.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll just go and get it.
Um, you can sing a song, you just can't do the recorded version, I believe. Yeah, I think that's right, because I watch a lot of YouTube channels that perform that like play songs and stuff.
Mm,
So I think you can like kind of play it and sing it. You just can't play that actual version of the song.
yeah.
Simon's asking, do you need to download them, Ben? That's the music he's talking about, the songs for your
Yeah.
videos.
You do, yes, Simon, you do. You do have to download them from the library, but it's just a download button. It just says download, and then you add it to your video. So yeah, you do
Mhm.
have to download them.
Right, I'll let you talk about that deck just now if you want, Ben.
So I ordered this, and then I think I was chatting to Robin. He said he'd ordered it, and we both liked another deck actually, which I'm using tonight. But it's this one, the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot.
Oh, okay.
Because it's done by the same artist who did the pre-Raphaelite Tarot.
Right, okay.
And we both kind of liked the artwork of this one, so he asked me if we could do a live together on it and talk about it. So it's arrived, Robin.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to just shove this along the bottom just now, Ben, because it's good to get it there like 5 minutes before. So if anyone does have any questions for the cards, then please just pop them in the chat and we'll get to them. So we'd got to Simon and asked about downloading. Justin says, I think you can like play the guitar and sing a popular song. Yeah. Richard Boo is off now. Finish on playback night, everyone. See you later, Richard.
Bye, Richard.
Longman's remix is funny, opening his long box. Oh, thanks, Justin. I like different walkthroughs of the same deck, especially if it's one I really want. Yeah, I'm the same. See if I'm like sometimes I just randomly go through phases of liking decks. Whilst we're here, actually, do you know what what I want? So I'm getting right into the Visconti decks just now, but I don't have any of like the Visconti decks. So I've been obviously I've been looking up walkthroughs and stuff. And I've found like walkthroughs of like different makes of the Visconti Sforza. So like Simon's got a tremendous one where he walks through the US games, the Il Meneghello, and the Golden Visconti Sforza, like all side by side.
Yeah.
But I've not seen a side by side of the Visconti Sforza and the Visconti Madrone. Dimadrone, Visconti Dimadrone. And I'd like to see just a side by side of those two together so that I can see like the differences between them, because I don't know if I want to get both of them, if I just want to get one. Well, one there. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I would, if anyone, hinting towards Simon because I know that he's got them both, but if anyone like has both, then I would be interested if a wee side by side walkthrough was to pop up on my YouTube. It would just make my day. I'm being pure rude and I'm just requesting walkthroughs, but I'm just generally putting it out there.
Exactly. If you don't put it out, get out.
True. People have short attention spans. Kelly is the only 2-hour walkthrough I'll ever watch. Yeah, see, I like to. So I've been putting the place markers on my videos. So I'll have like, so you can click to the section you want. You know, I've got the intro bit, I've got the flip through bit, I've got the bit where I talk about how it shuffles, and then I've got the bit where I do the sample reading. Those are generally like the the sections that I'll do my video in, and I generally do that. So it's like if you're coming to it and you only want to see the cards, you don't want to listen to some random Scottish dude like talking, like then you can just mute me. You can speed up the video and you can just watch the flip through happen. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm more than happy for people to do that. That doesn't bother me at all. And if you want to hear me gibbering on for an hour about a card deck, then you can do that as well. So Robin says, I love seeing walkthroughs. Simon has saved me thousands of dollars. Yeah, so that's another advantage is like, you know, as well as letting you see decks that you like, it's letting you kind of be discerning and see what you don't like as much as well.
It's true that is, because sometimes you see a deck that you like and then someone does a flip through of the whole set and you're like, So it helps in that way, doesn't it?
Regina, Chris, you perfectly marinated cut up steak. Regina, you beautifully buttered parsnip, you. I'm not prepared with a banner today because I forgot, but there you go. That was just right off the top of my head. So you're a buttered parsnip today. So Tony's explaining, so blousin is a blousey shirt from Swash Butling Outfit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking pirate here, Tony. You want to see a pirate? That's what
Right.
I think. I think.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
I
Let's see.
bet Gerald's got that.
The artwork is interesting. Do you mean swashbuckling, like pirates or Three Musketeers? I think that is what Tony means, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
it's their version.
I told you I was working on a video, Chris. Yeah, you did, but it was a walkthrough of the Madrone, wasn't it? It wasn't a side by side of the Sforza on the Madrone. Unless I've picked you up wrong, Justin. I thought you were going to be doing something talking about the Madrone. So if I've picked you up wrong, then apologies. Everyone, I take back what I said because Justin's working on a video and I'll watch that. I'll glide you one, Chris, in exchange for Yellow Brick Road. Right, okay, it's a deal. Isn't Madrone bigger with red borders? I think it would depend on which one you were looking at, Tony. So different versions have been done of the Madrone. I know US Games have done one. I know that the Los Carabeo have recently come out with that museum edition one. Um,
I didn't
so and
realise they'd done new ones, to be honest, of that one.
what was that, Ben? Sorry.
I didn't realise they'd done so many versions of it.
Yeah,
Just come.
so there's a couple. There's a couple. Well, there's a few. There's more than a couple. There's a few. Like me and Justin have been. Justin's told me about like I know about three main ones anyway.
Yeah.
And I think they're all around about that time, and nobody really knows. There's debate around which one was first. I had
Mm.
always thought it was the Visconti Sforza was the first one,
Yeah. What I
but
thought.
there's some debate that potentially the Madrone came before the Sforza.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, so I think it was I can't remember the guy's title, but it was like some high up person commissioned the making of the first tarot deck. And
Okay.
the guy's name was Visconti, I think.
Okay.
Um, and he had a son-in-law whose surname was Forza. And I've taken it that so I think when you look at the Visconti Sforza that US Games did, it comes with I think it's Francesco Sforza and someone remind me the woman's first name, but her first name is her last name is Visconti. So I think
Yeah.
the person that I'm talking about, the high up person that commissioned it initially, I think she would probably be his daughter, I would imagine, if he's the
Yeah.
son-in-law. So
Yeah.
it's all starts there, but I think there's debate around which one was the first. But Justin is doing Justin's the tarot history person, so he's doing a video on it. He says, I've been preparing for 3 weeks on a Visconti video in my historic series. Cool. Okay. I just didn't realise you were doing a side by side of those specific decks, so I'll look forward to that. I only have normal and mini Sforza, says Tony. We all want to listen to a Scottish man, says Debbie.
True.
Swashbuckling involves pants with a zipper in the back.
Oh,
We're
right.
all
Okay.
appreciating
Didn't.
Justin's videos. Sorry, Ben.
No, I was just wondering what. I was wondering what that was. Yeah.
Let's see. That was the Duke of Milan. Yeah, so that I'm saying some high up person. There you go. That was his title, the Duke of Milan. Lovely Jen's here from Science to Soul Tarot and Transformation. Hi there, you two sexy beasts, and all late to the party as always. Hi, lovely Jen. How are you? And don't apologise. It's lovely to have you here. Simon's
Absolutely.
heading to bed. Long day ahead tomorrow. Thanks for the chat. Night, everyone.
Yeah. Night, Simon.
See you later, Simon. And happy birthday for tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah. Birthday time. Oh,
Jamie's
Jamie.
here. Hi, Jamie. Jen says, hey, Queen Fuck. No, I'm not doing a complete side by side. I was just breaking your balls. Yeah, I fucking knew you were, you wee shite. Um, oh, that's us at the bottom. Right, okay. Readings time. So, people, give us questions, fire them at us. I want to see lots and lots and lots of questions because we need to get our Ben reading on the camera. So
And
I am going to be using the very lovely Zombie Oracle by our very beautiful Orshi Nota from Dragorshi's Tarot. Ben, what are you going to be reading with, or have you got a selection?
I've got a selection, but I think I'm going to go with this one first. It's the Vision Quest Tarot.
Nice.
And I only acquired it a couple of weeks ago, but I really love it. You know, it's one of those decks that when you get and you just think, oh, I really like working with this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just draws you in. Get my shuffling hands out.
Cool. So Tanji's in there with her first question. She says, question, what is in store for me in general this month? Main focus.
Oh,
So what is in store in general for the month and what should our main focus be? Okay, let's have a look and see. This deck shuffle. This is my first deck that's got S30 cardstock, the standard smooth. Any make playing cards decks I think I've had have always been the superior smooth. But this is really nice. This shuffles nicely because I can riffle shuffle it that way, like that, as well as like that way, which
yeah.
is
I
always
need to
nice.
learn to read more because it really shuffles your cards, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I think I did it once and it just like blew up in my face. Cards everywhere.
It just takes practice. Okay,
Yeah.
Tangi, let's have a wee look for you and see what we've got. Okay. This is looking exciting, Tangetastic, because to answer your question, what is in store, we've got the point of view card, okay? Now, this for me, I'm likening this to like the tower card in Lenormand, not in Tarot, in Lenormand. The tower card in Lenormand is all about, removing yourself from the situation to really kind of get the layout, the lay of the land, getting a different point of view, so higher ground, which might involve you withdrawing from social situations. It might involve you kind of spending a wee bit more time on your own. Okay. I'm not imagining that you're going to climb up a ladder into a treehouse and literally like be up high and look around you. I think this is more kind of a figurative. So it's about kind of just withdrawing for a period of time in order to kind of just reevaluate, in order to kind of recalibrate your point of view. And it just kind of lets you see the way more clearly. All right. The advice that you've got is resilience. Okay. Resilience is one of these things that it's got to be in the right balance. Okay, so we all need to have a certain amount of resilience, otherwise we just end up being flaky and not sticking to anything. See that negative aspect of the Page of Wands, where we kind of end up with a load of unfinished projects because we start something, then it gets the slightest bit challenging and we put it to the side and we start something else. That's what happens when we don't demonstrate enough resilience. Okay, so the cards are wanting you to really kind of think about resilience and how resilient you are, and they're wanting you to make a point and sticking at it. They're wanting you to have that staying power. Now, on the flip side, sometimes we can be too kind of too stubborn, and I've started this, so it means that I need to finish it, and you end up flogging a dead horse. So that's the flip side of it. But what it's saying to you is that they want you to really kind of focus on being resilient about what it is that you're trying to do. Okay, so you're getting your point of view, okay, which might involve kind of taking a step back from where you find yourself at this moment in time, and you're concentrating on being resilient. And the outcome of that is the turning card. And this is a card about transformation. This is a card about seeing a complete and utter change. Now, when we look at it in the context of a zombie oracle, of a zombie land, turning is after you've bitten, you're turning into a zombie. So that's not really in the context of that, it's not a great thing. But in the context of this reading and where things are going, you're going to see a big changes happening. If you can demonstrate this resilience, you're going to see these big changes happening. Now, I don't know if there's a situation, Tanji, that you find yourself in that you're looking to really turn things around on. If there is, then great. It looks as though that you're on track. You just need to kind of make sure that you're kind of getting your lay of the land, make sure that you're assessing your situation, and make sure that you're being resilient and really kind of seeing things through and demonstrating that staying power. What do you think, Ben?
I think that's really interesting, and I was smiling all the way through that because I've pulled 3 cards, and the first one was the Hermit, which goes hand in hand exactly what Chris said about taking that time, Tanji, to just go take that time alone to kind of review things, really think about things, and then interestingly, the next card I pulled was the wheel, the big medicine wheel, which is the wheel of fortune. So we're talking about here, rolling with the punches, that resilience that Chris was talking about. Things are moving for you, but you just need to go with things, and things might come at you, but it's that resilience again that Chris was talking about. It's so weird, Chris, because I was laughing as you were saying all this. And then the last card, Tanji, that I pulled was the 9 of water, which was joy. And this is about you being in your element and kind of like pulling things together, I think. And whatever you're doing this month or what you've got planned is things coming together here. And this woman's in the water here, and she's just, she's in her element. She's feeling good about things. So that's so interesting. And it was really weird, Chris, when you picked the first card, because that Hermit card, I was just like, wow, that's exactly what you were saying there. So I think it fits exactly with what you've just said.
That is pretty cool. I love it when readings just kind of marry up like that.
Yeah, synchronicity.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad. Okay, Tanji, I hope that was helpful. So Tanji's given a bit of feedback. She says, yeah, the house that I'm renting is being sold and I get to stay, but I want them to fix some things and I'm not backing off about it. Good for you. That's the resilience and that big medicine wheel. That is that is what that I think that I genuinely believe that's what that's talking about. I think your big medicine wheel, it looks as though it's 21, Ben, so it might be the world, but I mean it's the same. It's all one,
Oh,
it's like it's telling you you're exactly where you need to be. Do you know what I mean?
This is why I need practice, guys, because
No, listen, see if it happens during the reading, it's meant to happen. So if you saw that as the Wheel of Fortune, then you were meant to see it that way. That's why I didn't say anything whilst you were doing the reading. But yeah, no, that was really cool.
Thank you.
Okay, so Regina says, why am I having dreams about Billy Idol yelling at my brother to clean this place up? Oh dear. Right, okay.
Right. Why is Regina?
That's very specific.
Okay.
What does Billy Idol mean to you, Regina? Like, do you like Billy Idol? Do you hate Billy Idol? Do you think Billy Idol is scary? Do you think Billy Idol has got their shit together? Do you think they're very authoritative and someone you look up to? Like, what is your view on Billy Idol? Because I'm curious just to do a wee bit of interpretation on that. Yeah. But why is Regina having dreams about Billy Idol yelling at her brother to clean the place up? Let's see. So no idea what you think and why Billy Idol, Money Money was everywhere when you were a child. Okay. And Tanji says Billy Idol is a rock god. Period. Okay. So, wow. Well, first of all, I don't really know how to read this, to be honest with you. So the advice card that I've got, I'm going to start off in the middle and then work my way out. The advice card that I've got is the Chaos card. Quite often for me, a card like that will come up when you've got to kind of learn to embrace the chaos. But in your case, this might actually be, you know, this might be answering your question. Maybe, I mean, if you're imagining Billy Idol or anyone shouting at your brother to tidy up, maybe it's because, like, does your brother leave a mess? Like, is it messy, and does somebody need to tell him to clean up his mess, or is that just not a thing at all? Because if it is, maybe on some level it is, and it's like, somewhere in your head, it's creating stress and anxiety for you. It's creating this kind of a chaotic feel. See this kind of a, how we've all got a certain line that once you cross it, you kind of go back to your base instincts. And quite often that kind of a chaotic environment is kind of what pushes those buttons. So I think that, it might be that you're needing a clearer space in order to kind of just, I don't know, work through stuff. It might even not be so much about physical mess. This might be a kind of a more, psychological or emotional thing, So there might be like wee arguments between you and your brother, or there might be like wee spats or something like that. You might feel a certain amount of responsibility or something like that. That's just making your brain feel a wee bit more chaotic than what you would want it to be. It could be that that is what is kind of a manifesting in your dreams. The skill card is what came out as the situation. And then I've got the sign card coming out as the kind of the outcome. Um, the sign card is interesting because, and I said this when I did the walkthrough, I see this particular sign card as a kind of a marking a certain territory. Now, it might be marking territory as being unsafe because there's zombies here, or it might be marking the territory as, this is ours, we live here, this is human territory, and we're marking it with a human handprint, you know. Um, I'm not sure. I suppose that's the thing about dreams, is they are often a sign of something, but we just don't really know. But it might be a bit of a territorial thing, is where I'm going with that, you know. Um, let's just see. Mm, oh, and eyes without a face. Yes, Justin. I'm looking to see if you've answered anything. You're more rebellious. He's doing a disruptive project right now, and though I always have craft and sprawl, so the read totally makes sense. Okay. And then the first one was the skill card. I'm not really sure why skill is coming out as the situation. But then again, if you're saying it's a project that's causing the disruption, then maybe the skill card does fit in. What do you think, Ben? I'm just yapping on now.
So I haven't got a clear answer to this either, but I'm going to give it a go. So we've got, weirdly, I've pulled exactly 2 cards that I pulled in Tangi's. So I pulled the Joy card again first. These cards are stalking. So do you like Billy Idol, Regina? Because this tells me that you're projecting possibly onto Billy Idol, and perhaps that's you wanting to say what Billy Idol is saying to your brother. Then I've pulled the big medicine wheel, and I feel this time, it feels for me that you want some sort of change to take place, but you're unable to say it possibly to your brother. You're kind of wanting to tell him to clean up his shit, but maybe you're not. Then the third card I pulled was integrity, and it's something that's an issue for you maybe with your brother, and it's about, I think you might be sick of waiting, and it's about really going in and kind of seeing things from a different perspective than what you have been doing. Because I pulled an oracle card for you, and it's the adventure card. So the adventure is all about a new outlook, going out there, doing something different that you haven't done before. So I'm wondering whether this might be saying to you, perhaps you need to step into Billy Idol's shoes here and tell your brother to clean up his shit. Does that make any sense to you?
Well, there you go. We are no dream interpreters, are we?
That was hard.
It was, but that's good. That's
But
good.
yeah,
I like to. It's always good to get something that challenges you,
yeah,
and makes you think. Because questions like that make you think differently than what you usually do.
they
So,
do, and that's what you need actually. You need things to test you.
okay. Next up, we've got Debbie from Aquarius Owl asks, "What do I need to know to be successful doing uh, Nana, Nan, NaNoWriMo next month?" Right. I need to look. Do you know what NaNoWriMo is, Ben?
No, no.
Yeah, I need to look it up. I can't answer a question like that without understanding.
Do nano writing next month.
Did you say nano writing?
NaNoWriMo.
NaNoWriMo. So writing a novel alone can be difficult, even for seasoned writers. NaNoWriMo helps you track your progress, set milestones, connect with other writers in a vast community, and participate in events that are designed to make sure you finish your novel. Oh, and best of all, it's free. NaNoWriMo is a non-profit organisation that helps provide tools, structure, community, and encouragement to help people find their voices, achieve creative goals. And okay, so Regina's actually explaining, so National Novel Writing Month. Okay, cool. And then, oops, it's not what I want to be. So what do I need to know to be successful in doing that next month? Cool. So let's give these a wee shuffle. Right, okay, I've got some interesting cards here. So I've done a kind of a situation, do this and don't do this spread. Okay, so for situation, I've got prepared. So I think we can take this as some advice as well. So make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you go out, you think about it before you start it. Make sure you've got some sort of plan in place for what you're going to do on it. Don't just kind of go in and start brainstorming on the first day, if that makes sense. For do this, you've got use it, and we've got the brain there. Um, I mean, the card kind of says it on the tin, doesn't it? I think it's just about kind of knowing what your skills are, knowing what you're good at, and maybe knowing what kind of a stuff that you're not so good. Be analytical, be thoughtful and tactful about how you kind of approach the month, and approach the project or whatever it is that you're doing. Um, if there's stuff that you know that you need help with, if there's particular things, and this comes back to what we were saying about being prepared, you know, if you know that you're really good at ABC, but you're really kind of need some help, or maybe there's other equipment or resources that they can provide you with in order to do something else like XYZ that you're not so good at, then have that in mind, have that focused. As what not to do, I'm getting the last attempt card, which is interesting. And what this says to me is, you know, keep something under your belt. Don't just go into it and do absolute balls to the wall. Like, if I don't do it this time, then that's it. I'm done, and it's never going to happen. Don't approach it like that. Like I'm saying, be tactful. Don't be all kind of a knight of wands where it's like, my energy's just getting scattered everywhere. I'm just going to fire everything off everywhere and see, like throw the spaghetti and see where it lands. That's not what we're wanting you to do. We're wanting you to be very kind of a analytical, very tactful, and very targeted about how you use your energy during during the month, during the project. I think that's what advice the zombie oracle's got for you, Debbie. What do you think, Ben?
So I've pulled the Four of Air, which is contemplation, and I feel this is saying to you that you really need to think about what it is. Don't rush in there if you're feeling like it's not flowing for you at the moment, because I've also pulled the Ace of Water, and I think what this is saying to me, Debbie, is that what you write about comes from your heart, and you can't. It seems sometimes maybe it's blocked when you're feeling out of sorts with things, and I think this is where this card's coming in, telling you that you perhaps need to take that time and rest, have that contemplation time, and then your thoughts and feelings, or whatever it is that you write about, will start flowing for you. Now, the next card I pulled was the Clown, which is actually the Fool card, and it's a really good card because it's about a beginning of something. And don't worry too much about what it is that you're writing about. Just go out there, whatever's flowing for you, just write about it, and really go for it, because I think this is what the Fool card is saying. Just jump out there and really go for it. But you need time to rest and contemplate before your emotions and feelings, I think, will flow. I did pull an oracle card for you, which was Be in Service. And I think that to me is telling me that you kind of want to, you're a person that probably wants to write something that helps other people. And in order to do that, you need it to come from the heart. And in order for it to come to the heart, you need to have that time to really relax and think about what it is that you want to do or want to write, and take that time for yourself. But it's a really good, I feel the cards I've pulled are really good for you. You just perhaps need to take a step back and really contemplate what it is that helps you relax and lets your thoughts and feelings flow, so you can write, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, that's my reading.
Thank you. Okie dokes. The next question we've got is from Kate Atkinson, and Kate asks, I have a question. The King of Swords or the Knight of Pentacles? Where should I focus? So that's interesting. So I take it these represent two people in your life, and you're wanting to know where to focus your energy. So
Good question.
what I'll do is I'll pull some cards and see if the kind of a general energy of the cards kind of lend themselves more to your kind of a analytical type King of Swords, who their mind is their weapon, or is it going to lean more towards someone who's quite kind of likes to get their hands dirty and likes to actually kind of appreciates the physicality of things more. It's going to be interesting though, because I don't know that my deck is kind of a balanced more one way than the other, so we'll just see what happens. I want to know, King of Swords or King of Pentacles, where should you focus your energy? So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to give you a definite answer between those two, between King of Swords and King of Pentacles. In hindsight, what I probably should have done is just pulled a card for the swords and pulled a card for pence, but that's not what I've done anyway. So the situation, like the kind of what's coming through is like treat and toxicity. Okay, these are two things that the cards want us to have in mind when we're making this decision. Um, it's telling. I don't know if it means that I'm leaning more towards the King of Pentacles because a treat for me is like is some treat is more something physical. So as if it was like compliment, then I'd be like, right, okay, well that's more like a spoken, that's not so physical. But treat to me really does seem to focus on the physicality of things. The toxicity card tells me that there's one of these particular individuals who perhaps is a bit toxic. You know, they are the kind of person that maybe will bring other people down in order to raise themselves up. There's maybe a bit of and no one is completely 100% nasty, and no one is completely 100% a nice person. We've all got kind of our sides to us. And there's certain things that push our buttons and that can kind of like activate like toxic sides to us or jealous sides to us or whatever. But the cards are bringing this up for you, so they're wanting you to think about what you know about these individuals. And if there is one where you're like, yeah, that person can, when push comes to shove, that person can be, quite toxic. If that's ringing true for you, Kate, then I think that you perhaps already know that that's maybe not someone that you're wanting to spend a, a great amount of time with. The third card that came up was safety. At the end of the day, and this doesn't have to be about physical safety. Sure, we all need a roof over our head and we all need food and water. Of course we do. But safety is about more than a physical thing. Safety is about, feeling like looked after emotionally and mentally. Do you know what I mean? So if someone is prone to being quite toxic, then the chances are that we're not going to feel safe in our own skin. We might feel on edge. We might feel as though any move we make, where we're going to be criticised. It might be that kind of a thing. So make sure that you're putting your safety first. That's the most important thing. And that's kind of a where you want to be aiming for. That's what you want to be thinking about. You want to be thinking about your kind of a well-being at the end of the day. Um, so yeah, a bit of a roundabout answer to your question there, but I hope that it's been helpful nonetheless. Ben, have you got anything?
Yeah, so first card I pulled for you, Kate, was the Lovers. So I'm wondering whether this is someone that you're very close to, that perhaps you might be in a partnership with, maybe. Now, similar to Chris, I don't think I can give you an answer, but what I will say to you is I pulled this one, which is the Spirit Guide. I feel that you know the answer deep within inside you, and really it's your decision to make. And I think you already know the decision. I think you already know the answer. Um, and maybe you're just a bit afraid of letting one person down, maybe. But I would say to you, this is telling me that you need to go with what's in your heart. Now, the next card I pulled is actually Breakthrough. So I think you already know the answer. Now, Six of Earth is actually, it is Pentacles. So, could this be saying to you that maybe it might be Pentacles? Does that help affirm anything for you? But I really do think that you need to make that decision. And the other thing, I pulled an Oracle card and it was make a decision. I think it's you already know the answer to that question deep inside, and you just need someone to tell you, make that decision. And I think you already know. And yeah, just go for it. Trust yourself is my advice, Kate, because I think you already know the answer.
That Oracle deck is really lovely artwork. What deck is that?
Yeah, it's called Nature's Whispers.
Oh, okay. Nice. That make a decision card is stunning. The colours on it, really, really
Yeah,
nice. Right, my chat's just jumped about a million miles down. Right, guys, I'm going to skim for actual questions. If I miss any, then let me know. Uh, but Ben, feel free to keep your eye in the chat, and if there's anything
yeah.
exciting happening, then let me know. But I'll just skim for questions just now. So light energies next. Will this course I'm on get any better? I'm glad that you came back, Nell. Usually when people come in at the start and ask a question and I say if you come back at 10, they don't normally do. So I'm glad that you did. I'm glad you came back. Okay. So now I'm going to say that yes, as you work on the course more and more and build up your skills, your knowledge base and your skill base, then yeah, you're going to find that you're going to enjoy it more and more. Um, I think right now what you've got to focus on is skill. Okay. So no one can go in and start something and be absolutely perfect. In fact, me and Ben were having a conversation earlier on in this live about playing piano. What am I talking rubbish? Was it us that were talking about this, Ben?
Yeah,
You
it
were
was.
saying
Yeah,
you started playing piano, but you wanted to go in
yeah,
and play like Elton John.
yeah.
But it's one of these things. It just takes time to build up that level of skill where you kind of find your own thing and you put your own stamp on it, and that's where the sign card is coming out. I think this is telling you need to build up that skill. The middle card is resilience, so you need to kind of demonstrate some of that resilience. So earlier on, you might have heard me talking to Tanji about resilience and having to really kind of be able to stick at something and resist that urge to move on as soon as things start getting challenging and become quite difficult. So even when you start to feel as though you know you can't see the way forward, sometimes the answer is to like make a decision that something is no longer serving you and put it to one side and say, right, okay, well that I'm going to move on from that. But at other times, the answer is to be resilient. It's to sleep on it, come back at it the next day with fresh eyes and see if you see the problem in a different way. It's about, those hits that you take, pick yourself back up and keep going through the difficulties that you're going to kind of face when you're going through this course. Um, Build up that skill, and get to a point where you can put your own stamp on it. You know, you will get to a point where you're skilled enough where you can kind of make it your own. I'm not saying you're going to be an absolute expert in the next 5 minutes, but what I am saying is that as you build up that skill and demonstrate, you'll do that by demonstrating resilience, you'll start to build up confidence. Okay, and you'll start to feel as though, right, okay, I kind of make this my own. I'm starting to be able to see how the pieces fit together. That is when you're going to start to feel it getting better. Okay, but I'm not seeing anything in these cards, at least. It'll be interesting to see what Ben's got, but I'm not seeing anything here that's saying no, it's not, it's going to get terrible, you should chuck it and start something new. It very much seems to be about kind of a sticking with it. What do you think, Ben?
I totally agree with the cards I've got. So we've got the Ten of Earth, which is wealth. So I feel like this is, I can stick at it now because I think you're going to get a lot from this if you can, and if it's something that you've wanted to do and if you're going through a difficult time with it at the moment, just keep going with it because see the end goal in sight here because the 10 is at the end and it is the goal that you're after. Now, the other one I pulled was the Ace of Earth. Was that an Earth one as well? Yes, we've got quite a lot of earthy signs here. Which you're at the beginning of something really good, I think, here. For me, when I look at this card, I'm thinking that something's growing, something's growing for you here. It's going really well. And I also pulled the Daughter of Fire, which I think represents you at the beginning of a journey. And it's about having that passion to keep going with it and keep moving forward with it. An oracle card I pulled was Show Your Support. And for me, that's saying to you, show your support for that course because I think it will get better. Whatever's going on for you at the moment, I feel that just don't don't stop. Keep going. Show your support for the course because I think at the end you're going to get what you went for anyway, which is the 10 of Pentacles, which is wealth. So I think you'll get exactly what you put into it. So keep going, keep pushing forward. I can't see anything in my cards either, same as what Chris said, that it says that it's going to get worse for you. In fact, I think it's going to get better. And if you've got that end goal in sight, I think it is definitely going to get better for you. And you're going to get out of it what you've put in.
Cool. What was your first card, Ben?
It was the 10 of Earth, which was wealth.
All right, okay. So you got the Ace of Earth as well, is that right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that's interesting because that's like. And what was the other card? What was the third one?
the
The other
daughter
tarot
of
card?
so
Daughter of Fire.
let me
Right. Okay. So do you see how, like, if you look at that a certain way, let me kind of bring myself back in here. If you look at that a certain way, so the Daughter of Fire for me is all about, it's all about passion and approaching things with a sense of adventure. If you can do that, then you'll be able to see the thing all the way from the ace through to the 10. You've got the potential to take that seed that is the ace of earth, that, that new like beginning, that new project, and see it all the
yeah,
way to its full culmination. But your key there is the Daughter of Fire, you know.
yeah,
It's about kind of a like lighting that fire in your belly, get passionate about it, have that sense of adventure about it. So yeah,
yeah,
no, I think that's really, really nice.
yeah.
I was going to say something there, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
These cards are really complementing each other, aren't they?
I know it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
really
next
interesting.
question we've got is from Brenda Chung, and Brenda says, "What will enable me to choose my best path?"
What will enable me to choose myself?
I'm really liking that deck that you're using, Ben. The tarot deck. It's really nice.
Oh yeah, I love the Native American vibe.
Yeah. Tell me again what it's called.
It's called the Vision Quest.
Vision Quest. Right. Okay. Oh, I have the jumper.
Okay.
I've got a couple of things here for you, Brenda. I had a jumping card, so I've actually got 4 cards on the table here, but I'm going to put the jumper to one side for now. I've got the joy and the clarity cards coming out first of all. So joy and clarity. So things that you're going to want to have in mind when you're looking at, what your next path is what brings you joy in life, what makes you happy. Okay, you you need to start there. Um, Start with something that does light that fire in your belly, that does give you that sense of passion, that does generally make you happy. All right. So maybe that what this is saying, and you'll know what your options are, and what paths you have before you. Maybe there's something that you already know makes you happy and brings you joy. All right. So maybe it's giving you a bit of a clue that it might be the the path for you might be linked to something that you've done in the past. Okay. We've got the clarity card, and for me, that is about really kind of seeing your options properly. The fact that the depiction is at night and we're seeing the light of the moon suggests that like what I want to say is I want you to take a close look at what's happening around about you. Have a close look at what your options are. Don't just take them at face value. Scratch beneath that surface and really kind of a look into the kind of the nitty gritty. because you might find that things aren't quite what they're presenting themselves to be. Okay. And whereas you might think that you're making a choice based on what brings you joy, you might end up feeling like this, because this was the third card that came out. You got the overwhelm card. Okay. So what this is saying to me is that you need to make decisions based on facts and knowledge of what's going on. Scratch beneath the surface, ask questions. Okay. So if that, for example, if it's job offers that are being put in front of you, I'm just using an analogy here, but if it's job offers we're talking about, then you're going to want to be going back and asking questions. You're going to want to be doing research into the companies that you're applying with, and making sure that you're making the decision based on the fullest amount of facts that you can. All right. And when you're making that decision, once you think, right, I've got all of the facts, when you're making that decision, just make sure that you're thinking, right, am I going to be happy? That you could think, I mean, again, me and Ben were talking earlier on, when I can't remember when Mark asked about, your roundtable reading. Sometimes a job can bring you loads and loads of money, but it's going to make you absolutely miserable. Okay. So if that was the situation, if you're being presented with a really well paid job that was going to ask you to work 90 hours a week versus a kind of a okay paid job, but you were going to have a work life balance, then encouraging you to go for the work life balance one, because the advice is to think about what brings you joy. Um, I feel as though the overwhelm card is a bit of a warning as to what happens when you don't kind of take into account that advice. It's a kind of to me, this is where you're on track to going right now, which means that this is of the utmost importance. This means that you're not currently seeing things, and the kind of where you're tending towards right now, it would be, it's not leading you in the absolute best direction that it could be. So if you can, I want you to find out more about what your options are. That's the most important thing that I can say to you. And the jumper was the bite mark card. For me, this is a card about the impact. It's a card about cause and effect. It's about that. The bite mark is the what starts the thing. It's what turns a human into a zombie. Remember, this is the zombie oracle that I'm working with, so we're kind of speaking in analogies of Zombieland here. But the bite mark is what starts that chemical process. It's what starts things happening. So the decisions that you make now may well have an impact for you in the future. So it's just telling you, like, think about what you're doing, because it's key. It might just seem like a wee scratch right now, but for this person, and like however long it takes, they're going to be a fully fledged zombie. So you want to just kind of think forwards about the decisions that you're making. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah. So I pulled for you, Brenda, the Ace of Air. So it seems to me that you've got a lot of thoughts coming in about what path you want to choose. So there's lots of different ideas that you've got being bandied about there, which is excellent. But I agree with Chris. I do think you perhaps just need to have that patience and sit back. And this card is called Integration. And I think you perhaps need to go out there, interact with us, ask questions, really find out what it is that you want to do. Now, the Oracle card I pulled was expansion, and I think this goes hand in hand with integration, in that I think you need to expand, go out there, ask questions, really find out what it is that you want to do, expand your awareness or knowledge of whatever it is that you want to do. I think you've got a lot of passion, Brenda, because I pulled the Sun of Fire. So I think the passion's there, but don't rush in too quickly. Just take some time where this integrate. I really feel that this is telling you to just take time and think about things and go out there and ask questions, not rushing too quickly. It's really taking that time out to expand your own knowledge and about what it is that you really want to do. I can see that you've definitely got that passion there with that one, and keep that going, keep that fire burning. But yeah, find out those answers and expand your awareness of things. But I think you're on, you will choose your best path, because I think you already know deep down perhaps what you do want to do, but it's just getting more information. Similar to what you said, really, Chris.
Cool.
Like,
Yeah, definitely. Really nice. Okay, I believe the next question is from our very own, very lovely, very handsome Mr. Tarot Stash Gerald. So Gerald asks, what will be the impact of me attending a special ritual? Wait, hang on. Of attending a special ritual have on me? So what impact will the special ritual have on Gerald? Cannot give more details. Okay, Gerald, let's have a look and see for you then. Right, Gerald, I've got the clarity card coming out. I feel as though it's going to open up your mind a lot. Um, is this ritual happening at night? Does it involve the full moon? Just out of curiosity, because look at the beautiful moon on that card. Um, yeah, I mean, clarity, opening up the mind, opening up your knowledge base, and just kind of like I was saying in that last reading, it's about scratching beneath the surface. It's about realizing things, seeing things in a different way that we perhaps just don't quite appreciate them before. You probably heard me before talking about the story or the analogy or whatever it is, the tale of Plato's cave. Plato's cave is an idea where we all go through a certain part of our life um, chained to the wall in a cave, and we basically perceive the outside world through shadows on the wall of the cave. So there's a fire in the cave, and a car drives by, and we perceive it as a shadow on the wall. An aeroplane flies by, and we see the shadow, and that is our whole basis of like kind of understanding things, the things around about us. It's not until we unchain ourselves from the wall and we actually step outside and see, oh my God, like, these things aren't all that shadow color. They've got all different colors, and oh my God, like these things are actually 3D. I can touch them, and there's a whole other dimension to, it's about experiencing things in a whole new way that you just never before thought was possible. So that's what I see it opening up for you. And we've got the treat card coming up in the middle. Um, so see, as much as this experience is going to be really um, profound and eye-opening for you, I want you to remember to kind of just see the light in things. Just remember that this is supposed to be an enjoyable experience for you, as well as something that um something that's supposed to be useful for you, and like kind of a enlightening, and like kind of a like furthers your self development and self knowledge. All of that serious stuff is great, but just remember and kind of find the fun in it as well. Um, I do also want you to, you know, see, and this is where it's difficult because you can't give more details on what it is. I do feel as though it's going to bring with it a certain feeling of responsibility. Okay, now if this doesn't make sense, then that's absolutely fine. But I'm getting the overwhelmed card coming out at the end there. The reason that I see that coming out is because going through this ritual might bring onto you a certain sense of responsibility, um, which is fine, but I don't want you feeling like this. A lot of the time when we feel responsibility is put on us, we do become overwhelmed because we tell ourselves, right, okay, that this is what's expected of me now. I maybe need to do this, that, and that. You know, just remember what the whole point of it was. It was clarity, and it was about opening up your eyes and letting you see things as they truly are. So don't let like kind of feelings of overwhelm and stress kind of cloud your vision and make you feel as though it's something more than what it is, as though there's like what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? I'm kind of struggling to get my words across here, but I'm hoping that it's making sense to you. I don't want you to kind of you know that way some people can kind of snatch an insult out of the jaws of a compliment, or they can take something positive that's been presented to them and kind of almost find a way to kind of make it a burden or something like that. I want you to kind of actively try and avoid doing that, because I think you might be a bit of a danger doing that. So I'm going to leave you with that, Gerald, because I think that's as helpful as I'm going to be able to be. But let's see what the lovely Ben has for you.
So I'm going to start with the Oracle cards, Gerald. So I'm wondering whether you're actually not sure about this ritual, because I pulled the make a decision card. So is there part of you that feels that, oh, do you want to do it? Do you not want to do it? But I would say the next card, two came out, funnily enough, when I did this. The other one was open your heart. So I feel like you do want to do it. And I think if you do it, I think you just need to open your heart to it and go for it. Really, just have the experience and just enjoy it. But release yourself to the experience. Now, the cards are pulled. So the first one I pulled was the Eight of Pentacles. I feel this has been something that's been worked up to, this ritual, maybe. So you might have been working up to it. Has it been a long time coming, this thing? It feels like there's probably a lot of work that's gone into it. And then the next card I pulled was really good. It was the Ten of Cauldrons. So I kind of feel that the reason for this is a good thing. This ritual, it's to bring better things for you, whatever it is. Now, the last card, interestingly, is the Five of Cauldrons, and I'm not sure how it's going to leave you feeling, but it's funny that Chris was saying, about the responsibility. You might feel that you've got more responsibility. This person's very much in contemplation here, so it might leave you with a sense of thinking about things maybe too much. I don't know, but don't forget, look at what has gone right or is going to go right. Don't. It's a hard card, the Five of Cauldrons, because I know it's typically thought of as sometimes grief and things like that, but I don't see it as grief. I just see it as someone really thinking about the situation. But as this little kid at the back is saying that, hey, look up here. There's more to this than meets the eye. That's all I can say on that, Gerald. I hope that makes some sense for you. But yeah.
Do you know what's really snazzy about that? Snazzy? Who fucking says snazzy? Why did I even use that word?
Going back to the
Anyway,
90s.
do you know? I know. Do you know what's really cool about that though? So I'm yammering on about this kind of a responsibility, potential burden, potential overwhelm thing, right? You've got the Eight of Pentacles, which is, like you talked about how it's probably something that's been built up to, which, is
Mm.
really cool. The Eight of Pentacles is a lot of work though, isn't it? It's like mastery.
Mm.
And there's a
Yeah,
lot that's kind of a going into that. And like, see, when you have that kind of that responsibility, and uh, what I'm wondering is if this is going to open up doors that potentially might take time away from Gerald's kind of you know, time with Jeffrey, his family time, because do you see how we see the cups, the emotional connections, the family
yeah, yeah,
going from 10 to 5? It's literally halving. So is this
yeah.
going to like pretty much half the time that you're going to be able to spend just chilling out in your pants and enjoying like a cup of tea, watching YouTube casted to the TV, you know, enjoying a nice stroll in the park with Jeffrey or whatever it is that you like to do? Is there a potential that your kind of just your enjoyment time is going to be cut down, because that just that numerology there, that number kind of a play, just really interesting to me.
Yeah,
um
yeah,
Regina
fascinating.
says only the snazziest say the word snazzy. Cool. Um, okay, so I think we've got maybe another two questions. So we've got Jadair, Owl, and I'm sure I saw another one, and then that'll be us. Yeah, Mitchell Lorraine asked for a general love reading for October. And then, oh no, we've got Kaz as well. Kaz, right, and then that'll be us. So what I shall do is I'll just put a wee thing here saying no more readings, no more readings, no more readings after this point, because we've got to let the lovely Ben get to bed and get his beauty sleep, don't we?
You're all right.
Right, okay. So we've got Jadair Owl says work is extremely stressful. Any advice would be welcome, please. So advice for a stressful work situation.
Okay, I'm going to go these. Nice.
Jadair Owl, I've got the fuel coming up at first. All right. For me, this is a card. Depends on the question really, but this is a card that makes me think about what is causing the stressful situation. What is actually fires are terrible things, but if you try and stop a fire just by like sprinkling some water on it without really giving any thought as to what is feeding it, what is causing it, what is feeding it, allowing it to continue, then you're not going to get anywhere. And in my particular line of work, I do like casework. All right. So quite a lot of the times I find my work situation quite stressful because I feel as though I've got so much work on that, I just feel as though I'm firefighting. I just feel as though I'm like kind of a keeping I'm working on the stuff at this end and then the stuff at this end is just piling up twice as fast. So I need to think about what's fueling that situation and what's causing that to build up so quickly, you know? So is there a way that I can be more targeted about my work, about how I approach my work, so is that, I'm attacking the fuel, I'm stopping the fire from being fueled at the same time as I'm fighting the fire that's already existing. It's about divvying up my resources. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I need to not just throw water at the fire. I also need to identify what's feeding it and stop and cut that right out. You know, that's really the only way to properly kind of tame that fire down and to put it into the context of your work situation. You need to identify and try and control what's actually causing the stressful situation to arise. And at the same time, you need to be kind of trying to target some of that situation. Um, I've got the false safety card coming out here. All right. Um, Now that suggests to me that, and I'm going to talk about these two together actually, because the next card is the new beginning card. The false safety card suggests that you're not seeing things exactly as they are. All right. So and it comes back to identifying how is the situation being fueled. A sense of false safety comes from not realizing, where the danger lies. So I think there needs to be a complete analysis of the situation to really kind of identify what it is that's causing this and targeting the cause rather than just kind of trying to beat it at the end. Um, you're going to have to do something new because there's a new beginning card coming out. New beginning. This has really strong Ten of Swords vibes to me because do you see how like we're we're acknowledging that there's skeletons in the floor. There's been losses in the past. There's been stressful situations, there's been pain, there's been damage done in the past, damage that really can't be undone. We're acknowledging that and we're moving forward. We're kind of seeing these new opportunities that come up and we're moving forward into that. We have the lessons of, what's happened in the past. All right. So these represent lessons. These represent stuff that's gone wrong before that you can take forward as lessons and do better next time, do better in future. I heard somewhere recently that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is an integral part of success. Okay. And that is something that I think is so important that we all embrace, because the fear of failure quite often stops us from being successful. I think, we normally don't even give something half a chance because we're so scared that we're going to fail at it. But failure is such a good teacher, um, as Yoda says in The Last Jedi. Um, but it's true. Like, it's not the opposite of success. Like, success is built on the back of all of the failures that have got us to that point. You know, unless you just happen to fall into something that that you're brilliant at to begin with, then well, then good for you. Do you know what I mean? You're one of the few. But sorry, I'm going off on a ramble and going off on a tangent. But I think it's the 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 situations that are where we find ourselves being stressed out, just bear in mind that they are building up to successes and opportunities for us in the future. All right. And as to advice that you can apply right now, it's about identifying the fuel, it's about identifying what's causing the problem and trying to target that. False safety card might suggest that it's something not expected, it's not somewhere you would have looked. Okay. So I'm sorry, Ben. I know that I'm going on and on and on. I promise I'll
No,
stop in a
no,
minute.
I'm just thinking, looking at my cards and what you're saying.
Cool. But like, see, when things are stressful for me, my first is, oh, well, there's just too much work. Do you know what I mean? That's always my first kind of a mindset. It's my first mentality. It's how I always kind of tend to approach things at first. And don't get me wrong, like quite often it is the case that there is just too much work. But on the back of that, there's probably things that I could be doing to be more targeted, to work smarter, not work harder, work smarter, in order to kind of just get myself into a better position so as that I've got that kind of a more positive outlook on things.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say because I'm just rambling now. But that, I hope that was helpful for you. What have you got, Ben?
Okay, so I've pulled, I don't know, but I feel like it might be relating to a person at work. I don't know. Is it someone that's taking something from you, or is it the work itself? Is it not fulfilling for you? Is it taking a part of you with it? I feel like something's being taken off you here. I don't know whether it's a person, but I feel this king here is maybe yourself. You're not feeling things at the moment. This king looks very downcast. I'm reading this more intuitively, to be honest. I feel this represents yourself. Maybe you don't seem happy or content at the moment with your situation. The next card I pulled was the Eight of Pentacles, which is, I feel like, it's almost like you're putting a lot of work into whatever it is that you're doing, and the oracle card I pulled was be your best self always, and that's about checking in with your emotions and making sure that what it is that you're doing, is it right for you? Is it something that you want to keep going at? Sometimes work can be extremely stressful, and I think this is saying to if it's not feeling right for you, is it the best path for you at the moment? But if you're feeling like you're putting a lot in, but I feel like you're not getting a lot out, is what this is saying to me. And I think you need to look after your own emotions and go with how you feel with this situation. But if it's not working for you and you're putting effort in but not getting out, maybe this isn't the right kind of work for you. Maybe. What do you think, Chris? I mean, what are your thoughts on these cards?
Tell me again what your cards were, Ben.
So I've got the 7 of Swords, the first card, followed by the King of Pentacles. Sorry, let me get them in the right thing.
Yeah.
Followed by the 8. Sorry, that card's supposed to go.
Seven of Swords, King of Pentacles, 8
Yeah.
of Pentacles, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay. It's really, really interesting because for me, see the Seven of Swords, that's
Yeah.
the be innovative and find a different solution to the problem. The Eight of Pentacles is the opposite. That's the keep banging away at it the same way you always have.
Yeah.
That's the kind of a business as usual card. And then in the kind of a dead center, you've got the King of Pentacles as the
Yeah.
discerning one, you know.
Mm.
So it, again, it's all about kings for me are about management. It's about managing your situation. It's about looking at the bigger picture. The Seven of Swords is probably suggesting that you need to kind of think about things differently. You need to approach the problem in a different way. You need to be really discerning and problem solving. And if you do that and apply that kind of a mindset of the king, then you'll achieve that mastery that we associate with the Eight of Pentacles. But it's about looking at the problem in a different way, which I think is what I was trying to get at with that false, whatever the false card was that I had, the false safety or whatever it was.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So the next one is, there it's there, Mitchell Loreen, General on Love October. Right, okay. Mitchell, I think that you need to stay very open. I know that we're halfway through October already. Your first card that's come up is use it, use your brain. Okay. That to me, it's not exactly the card that I want to see coming up in a love reading, if I'm totally honest with you. It's asking us to engage those logical processes. So the fact that we're being asked to kind of embrace some of that air energy, where we want to be pouring lots of our kind of a water selves, to me is raising an alarm bells, and I'll tell you why the alarm bell is being raised, because the last card that I've pulled for you is the outside threat card. You need to look at your situation. There's something about it that if you're not careful, then and I mean, an outside threat could mean anything. It could be of any magnitude, It could be somebody's going to run by and throw a stone at you, or it could be somebody's going to like come in and call you all the names under the sun and make you feel like absolute shit. It could be anything, But there is something that you need to be discerning. You need to use your brain. You need to look at your situation analytically, and you need to be prepared against these threats. Now, what's interesting is it's not inside threat. There's an inside threat card in this deck. If it was inside threat, I would be asking you to be careful about who you're considering as potential partners. Or potentially, I would be asking you to look at your own view on yourself and your own sense of self-esteem and self-worth and things like that. But that's not what we're getting here. We're getting outside threat. So this suggests to me that it's environmental. It's coming from outside. So I'm asking you to look at the people around about you. I'm asking you to look at your physical, environment, the situation that you're in, and just ask like, is there anything about my situation right now that's threatening my ability to find love in October for the rest of the month? The middle card that came out was a bit nicer. It's the possibilities card, and that suggests to me that nothing is carved in stone. There's still very much like that kind of potentiality in the air. But I do want you to kind of be careful and make sure that you're setting up the best kind of environment that you can for yourself, if that makes sense. It's all about the setup, and then the kind of the lovey-dovey stuff will come after, I think, for you. What's your thoughts, Ben?
So mine's slightly different. I'm
Okay.
thinking of from a timeline, Mitchell. So I'm thinking it's been very slow for you in October so far. But coming up, it feels like things are gonna start moving for you. So this is like, it's almost like very slow, moving forward very quickly, and then I'm seeing success for you by the end of the month. So I'm reading this as a timeline in that it's been very slow. Oh, I can't get the camera angle right there with. We're moving forward, and I feel like there's going to be some success at the end there. And the oracle card advice that I'm getting for you is amplify your positive emotions, be positive, don't be too negative. I think we've got this slow character at the moment. Maybe, are we procrastinating on things, or are we overthinking things maybe? But I certainly think things are going to start moving forward if you can amplify that positivity. And we've got the World, which is a really good card for that end of that cycle and beginning a new phase. So I feel like you're going to be starting something new, possibly with love, maybe, as long as we keep amplifying those positive emotions. That's my little reading for you. It's very different from yours, Chris, I know.
No, I like that though. I like it.
It's very
I like how
similar.
Mitchell, there appears to be some nudity coming in at the end there for you.
Yeah, there you go, you see. The cards never lie.
Right, okay, and I believe our last reading is Kaz. So, General,
Hey.
any message that wants to come through, thank you.
Oh, fab.
Let's go for it. Sorry, Ben, I should have asked you, are you like good to just kind of keep going till we get to the end?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not like up in 3 hours for work or anything, are you?
I don't go to bed till about midnight usually, so don't worry about that.
Good.
And it's Friday tomorrow, so we're all
That's
right.
true. You anything nice planned for the weekend?
No, just chilling this weekend. Need
Good.
to save money. I've been spending too much money on tarot.
Right, okay. General message for Kaz.
What?
Right, Kaz, I don't know what you've got going on, but step one, the first card that I've got is the point of view card, and it's interesting because I think this was the first card that I pulled tonight in using this deck. And as I said then, this to me is a card about removing yourself from the situation in order to see the bigger picture, in order to kind of see the way ahead. Okay, so the idea of what we see here, this kind of a tower, lookout tower, is to get some higher ground so that you can see for miles around about you. All right, it's about getting that point of view. It's about getting that kind of a alternative and kind of a more heightened perception of what's going on. Once you can do that, and only when you've done that, my cards want you to go absolutely balls to the wall, throw everything in the kitchen sink into it, let go of any inhibitions that you've got, and just go for it. Go for it like your life depends on it. Throw all of your energy into it. Okay, so if there's a particular situation that you've got going on right now where this point of view card makes sense, where I'm asking you to really kind of have a look around and see, right, what's going on, then the advice that we've got is we're wanting you to kind of really give it your all. Yeah, I think that's what I've got. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, so I've pulled the Two of Fire, which here it's about
Fiery.
will. So it's very fiery, and this is very fiery reading actually for you, Kaz, because we've got. Are you doing something at the moment where you're fighting for something, you're wanting to go for something at the moment? Are you coming? Are you starting something new? Because I've also got the big medicine wheel, which is the world card. But to me, this is saying, sorry, I'm getting confused because this is saying that you're entering a new phase here, possibly. Are you going into something new? Because it feels like there's something very new here that you're perhaps going into. Because the next card I've got is the Six of Fire, which is the victory card. So it's a very good card for saying whatever it is new that you're going through, or whatever phase of your life you're going through now, it's going to be very prosperous for you. It's going to be really good. We've got a lot of fiery energy here, so there's a lot of passion with this. This jumped out for me as well, which is the small medicine wheel, which I feel is about fate, and things are perhaps are things moving in a certain direction for you at the moment that might not have been intended, but are actually gonna, things are gonna go well for you. It feels, I don't know, but I just feel like things have been moving quite quickly for you at the moment, and I feel like you're moving into a new phase of your life that's going to be very prosperous. I did also pick the being service card again. This is another second time I think I've pulled this, or third. And this is about looking after yourself, Kaz, and making sure that you look after yourself as well as those around you, but make sure that whatever you're doing is in service to yourself, and not for doing everything for other people, but also for yourself. So yeah, that's my last message for you.
That was pretty cool. I like that. I thought those two readings worked quite nicely together, because
Yeah,
the Two of Wands for me is a card about kind of getting the lay of the land. It's about planning and
yeah,
building your portal, kind of just building the path ahead for yourself, which
yeah,
kind of ties nicely on that point of view card. And then once you've got that, you had the world and the Six of Wands. It's
yeah,
like all systems go. You're really firing
yeah,
all your energy into it,
yeah,
which kind of lined up nicely with what the oracle cards that I had pulled. So no, that was really nice. So it was.
yeah,
Um, so Kaz is thinking about doing a complete 180, and that's why it's important to kind of to embrace that kind of that planning energy of the Two of Wands, and really kind of getting that point of view that you get
yeah,
with with this situation, because that does let you see all around about you in all directions. So if you are thinking about doing a 180, then this is going to, doing this step is going to be important to let you know whether that is the way, or if not, then what is the best way for you.
yeah.
So yeah, well, Ben, that was absolutely great fun. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on with me.
Thank you, Chris, for inviting me, because I've never done public readings like this before, so it's really helpful in giving me some kind of practice really for this kind of thing. So thank you, because you've helped teach me things as well as I go along. So it's been really helpful.
Oh, I think that you're an absolute natural.
Ah,
Like I would not call what you were doing, like, I know everything in life is practice, but I wouldn't have thought that that was just practice. That
thank
those were
you.
some really great insights, and like the comments I've been watching. I've got the bottom of the chat and where I am in the chat just now, on my screen. So I'm watching as the kind of a feedback comes through, and people are really kind of happy with the kind of readings that you've given them. So
Oh,
no, it's been absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. It's been my honor and my pleasure having you here doing readings with me.
thank you.
Um, and thank you so much everyone.
Yeah,
Um, to everyone who's been here, particularly the people that have brought questions to us. I do always really appreciate it. Because it can be quite difficult, if no one, sometimes people just
yeah,
don't want a reading.
yeah,
So I really always do appreciate when people do bring questions for us. Um,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
Ben, Kaz has just said at the bottom there, so you've been bizarrely accurate with this. Still amazes me to get these messages without giving any info. So there you
Oh,
go.
that's fantastic.
Cool.
Thank you.
Right. Well, with that, I think that we will love you all and leave you. Thanks again so much to everyone, to both Ben and to all the lovely people in the chat, both old faces and new faces that have been here tonight. Thanks to all my mods who've kind of been here and just, kept things ticking along. I really do appreciate you all. So take care, everyone, and we shall see you all soon. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.